Nicole Turner-Lee is here, and let's welcome the first panel up for our first opening presentations.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I know it's Monday, but we got to do better than that. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, it's a Tuesday. I just got back from vacation, so it's Monday to me today. It is Tuesday. My panelists, we did our call while I was on vacation, so they heard my screaming children in the background. I wanted to say thank you, John. Thank you to the Coalition for having me here today to moderate this first panel. I'm really excited for a couple of reasons. One, because at the Joint Center, I run a newly formed Media and Technology Institute. And so we've been really excited because we've actually filled in the blanks for communities that are right outside of the fringe of broadband adoption. So I'm really excited about this conference. I'm excited about anchor institutions because of the work that we've done. The people that we service, African Americans, Latinos, and other people of color, are coming to libraries and schools for public access. So coming out of that movement, I'm really excited today. So thank you for the invitation. I'm excited about these panelists here that I think are going to talk about some really great programs that they're running in their respective districts. Before we start, and those of you that know me, I would be remiss if I didn't offer some opening statements based on my advocacy in this area. We all are familiar that broadband is increasingly becoming very significant today. If we've not actually picked the broadband bug up, we must be sleeping with our eyes closed really tight because it is quickly transforming the way that we live, we learn, and we earn. And I think as we look at this broadband infusion into our democracy and our economy, it's really important to understand the role of all institutions in creating this information ecosystem. Community anchor institutions, and many of you I know, I have old friends here, new friends here, play a significant role in this. It's not just about individual access, right? It's not what I can do on my individual phone or PC, but how I'm connected to the larger community. And I think libraries and schools and other community anchor institutions play a particular role in that. I come out of the Community Technology Center movement, and back in the days, for many of us that were in that movement, we were small little disparate centers working in communities, overwhelmed like libraries are today by local people who could not afford the access. So as availability, affordability, and accessibility become critical to this conversation, it is only necessary to continue to talk about how to weave all of the fabrics together to create something that's going to be transformative and an equalizer in communities of color, among low-income people, among seniors, and others that are on the fringe of the digital divide. So I think the conversation that we're going to have this morning in this first panel provides a glimpse of hope. These folks that are up here today are recipients of BTOP funds. I know Larry Strickland, I'm very honored to actually talk on behalf of his programs because I think the BTOP programs offer a glimpse of hope for all of us that have been trying to actually bridge digital disparities. And I think they offer us also a sense of insight into best practices of what works in communities that are underserved. So the day, I think, will be filled with that. But this morning, we'll actually get to see what people are doing at the grassroots level within their communities and how those lessons can be transferred across all of us that are interested in this area. So before I begin, I'm actually going to do something different. I'm going to read all of the bios so that they can spend more time actually talking about their programs. The way we're going to set this up, each panelist will offer some prepared remarks about their programs. Some of them passed out fact sheets today. They all have PowerPoints. We limited to 1 or 2 because we knew it would be an early morning panel. And then we've also will have some additional information available